First of all, before I begin, I'd like to thank GDHS for their generosity tonight in the proceedings. And so with that being said, good evening, faculty and administration, families, and of course our GDHS graduates of 2011. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mark Wilson, and I have the humbling honor of being the graduating class's valedictorian. When I first heard that our school was looking for a valedictorian, I'll be honest, I actually had no interest. Because I've never been much of a writer, and I wanted my summer to be free of any schoolwork. But when I got the nomination to represent you, I first had to check it wasn't the other Mark Wilson being nominated, and started working on this address, I could not have been happier or more thankful to you, because I learned of the responsibility I had. To make a speech that embodies all of us, because for all of your hard work over these 4 years, you deserve nothing less than perfection from me. But while doing this, what I was most grateful to you for was the revelation I had, that we all have our own insecurities and strengths, because we're all still trying to find ourselves and our purpose. But the exciting part is that we still have the rest of our lives to make this discovery. And what I also learned was that they call this a commencement address and not a farewell address. Because this graduation is not the ending of an era, but the beginning of a whole new and exciting chapter in our lives. So, with these lessons, I've hopefully tapped into what gives you energy, motivation, and individuality. What I want you to do tonight is look around you one last time at this atmosphere, because this could quite possibly be the very last time we're all together. Because as much as we will always have our memories, if we wander these halls with strangers and not friends in them, it's just not the same. Now, of course, how could I stand up here and speak to you without addressing some of our greatest memories and legacies? 4 years ago, we entered GDHS for the first time, certainly not finding salvation in the disapproving glares of the grade 12s. Getting lost so many times in our first week, we never went to the washroom for fear that we may never find our way back to class. And even falling up and down a couple of staircases on our treks there. However, as we progressed through our first year, we instead found salvation in the old cafeteria, as Oscar the Grouch looked on. Coffee houses, music trips to New York, Paris and London, England and Boston, not to mention the regional gold last year. Spirit assemblies where we strengthened our greatness over CTK, Friday night lights, the one-actor dinner theater productions, our ecological contributions, or our off-degree teams. Regardless, we all found our niche in this school. And then there's some memories that will just stick out to us forever. Toast Day, where swimmers could be heard chanting, please excuse my tone deafness. 3 naked men, 2 naked men, and a naked man in a tree. Davin's end of term songs. Dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. If this is your art project, please pick it up today. There was the teacher's Christmas production, the many fire drills that actually turned out to be real fires. In the tech hall, I might add. Or how each hallway in this school seems to have its own smell. It got progressively smaller as the years went by. We can't forget our treks to Gary Allen, where the renovations continued that almost claimed many lives with asbestos falling on our heads. But in the end, it was a beautiful new cafeteria, the Kiwanis Field, and the Innovative Center. There are certainly some teachers we can't forget either. Mr. Brownridge's homework cop, Mr. Redshaw lighting the cigar in the middle of his retirement speech, and the conversations that go on when Mr. Stewart closes his door. However, when we finally got to our senior year, we found ourselves realizing that every party we had ever gone to had the barn on one side and the house on the other. But then again, it wouldn't have been Georgetown without that. Prom and Lasega weekend brought us all back together. But at the end of the day, we'll still never admit we were ever grade 9s. But as we look at what makes them so special is not that they give us a laugh or a smile of remembrance, but that we did or experienced all of these things together. And at the end of the day, you can't change the cards you're dealt, but you can change the way that you play the hand. And one day, you might be on GDHS's Hall of Fame. We know how we felt coming into the school, and we know how we feel leaving it. We've learned that as people we change over time, and it's all right that our emotions, ambitions, legacies, and friends do as well. But always remember that things turn out best for those who make the best out of the way things turn out. Sooner or later, we'll realize that the important moments in our lives were not the advertised ones, like birthdays, ironically graduations, or awards, but instead were the personal goals achieved where we decided that from then on, we would never let anything stand in our way or take our eyes off our destinies. However, as you venture on that personal journey of 1,000 struggles, remember that nothing worth doing is ever easy. Nowhere that has a shortcut is ever worth venturing, but that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty and power of their dreams. And never forget that it's not actually about reaching point B from point A, but it's instead about the journey there, sharing it with loved ones. And not worrying about money, because money will come when you take life's other gifts. Experience and the reward of giving back to society. Now, all graduates, please rise. So far in this address, I've neglected to mention two very important groups of people: our teachers and our families. Our teachers see us at our most tired moments and our most eager moments. And for many teachers, they have seen us evolve over 4 years. So whether we have had times of disagreement or dealt with them, at the end of the day, they put up with us. They did their job like no other faculty could and truly have prepared us for the road ahead, both academically and socially. And our families, who have always supported us in whatever we chose to do with our lives, who took us anywhere before we got our licenses, who put up with our stressful times without a word of flack, and who love us unconditionally, not because we always deserve it, and not because they have to, but because at the end of the day, we make them proud of who we are, and what we've accomplished, or what we plan to in the near future. Both groups have truly taught us that unless we stand for something, we stand for nothing. And that is so important as we eventually venture out on those individual journeys. So I have you standing because for both our teachers and our families, I ask that we give them a resounding standing ovation for all that they do, have done, and will do. And it's you, friends. We've done it. We're finally at this landmark in our lives, and I wouldn't want to share with anyone but you guys. You've supported me when I couldn't support myself. You've embraced me when I was lonely, and over the years, you've shown me my rights from my wrongs, made me a better person, given me more confidence as I leave this school than when I entered, even though we're in a scarier chapter of our lives now. You guys have certainly given me so much to take away with, so much so that it's difficult to say goodbye, but I know that it's necessary in order for us to meet again and say hello. And believe me, I do hope that our paths cross again real soon. It was once said that no distance or place or lapse of time can lessen the worth of those who truly taught each other of each other's worth. I couldn't agree more with this with respect to you guys, so thank you again from the bottom of my heart. so many innovations and inventions to still be discovered, who among us will be credited with new ideas? Normally I would say, who will be our next Einstein, Gates, or Gandhi? But then you would be missing the greatest challenge that lies ahead of you. Being your own individual and not someone else. And for such an occasion, the late Michael Jackson truly said it best. In a world filled with hate, we must still dare to hope. In a world filled with anger, we must still dare to comfort. In a world filled with despair, we must still dare to dream. And in a world filled with distrust, we must still dare to believe. We have to remember that this world is filled with many lies, so we have to be the truth. And it's filled with many people who don't dream or think of others, so we have to be the virtuous ones and help this world find balance and peace so that we can feel satisfied and rewarded for being responsible for the positive changes we shall see in the world as a result. Former U.S. President Eisenhower once said that time is not measured by the passing of years, but by what one does, what one feels, and what one achieves. So keep that in mind when you follow your passion, no matter what the sacrifices may be. And as the late Jack Layton once wrote, "My friends, love is better than anger. Hope is better than fear. Optimism is better than despair. So let us be loving, hopeful, and optimistic, and together we'll change the world." So as I end my address tonight, I will not say goodbye. Instead, I'll say that until we meet again, take care of yourself. Never forget to smile. And wherever you go, keep your pride inside.
Thank you, Mark. In appreciation of your efforts, this evening, Mr. Verkio will present you with the Principal's Award. I'd like to call Mr. Hotchkiss to the podium to acknowledge the